Today in Pet Care, responding to animal emergencies. A basic knowledge of animal first aid can make a huge difference in case your dog is ever involved in an accident or has a medical problem. And similar to first aid response for humans, pets can also be given CPR to resuscitate them in an emergency. Joining us to tell us a little bit more about it is Dr. Johnson. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Why don't you first off by telling us what are some of the common emergencies that might happen with our pets?
Well, boy, we see hundreds of different kinds of common emergencies. In the summertime, we're seeing a lot of heat stroke this year because we've had a very hot summer.
Major heat wave.
Yeah, so dogs in particular who are left outside or don't have air conditioning are subject to heat stroke, and certainly if you see your dog acting very anxious, panting a lot, seeming overheated, one of the things you want to do is cool them down quickly. Wash them down with cold water, even some ice, and then get them to a veterinarian if you're not sure that they're okay. Now,
before we get into doing a little CPR, what are some of the emergencies that may actually involve us needing to know how to do CPR?
So sudden trauma, so hit by car, just an immediate shock or getting the wind knocked out of them literally can cause a dog to stop breathing momentarily. Choking, electrocution, things like that, and drowning. Certainly dogs are going swimming this time of year, getting in the pool, in the ocean, and drowning could be a cause for an arrest. So it's useful to know how to do something about it.
Well, why don't you teach me here? We have our resuscitating dog right here. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, so this is not the most glamorous dog, but but we use him to teach people how to do CPR. And so
I would still save him. I would still save him.
Yeah, poor thing. So important to learn how to give breaths. Certainly we can't do mouth to mouth in a dog because the shape of their mouth just doesn't allow you to form a tight seal. So we actually do mouth to nose resuscitation in a dog. But fortunately there aren't a lot of diseases you can get from dogs, so it's a pretty safe thing to do.
Okay.
And what you want to do is actually close their mouth and put your mouth over their nose. I don't know where his nostrils are today, but you put the mouth over the nose and then just give some breath. So like that. And
like a human, would we need to kind of
compressions, yeah. So where we would do that is at the widest part of his chest. If it's a very small dog, you can get away with using your hand and just doing compressions right behind where the elbow is.
Really?
Here.
Is it just kind of just under the front paws?
Yeah, if you pull the elbow back, where the elbow hits the chest is where the heart is.
Okay.
And you can give compressions there. But if it's a bigger dog, you actually want to do their whole chest and use both hands and do compressions like this.
So unlike a human, we're not putting them on our back.
No, you can, but it's very hard to keep them in that position.
Yeah,
just not. Yeah, so it's just easier if you keep them on their side. You certainly don't want to do CPR if a dog's heart is still beating and if they're still breathing. So one of the things to practice on a dog who's healthy is learning how to take their pulses. And you can actually, if you put your fingers here, I can create a pulse with this. I don't know if you can feel it.
Oh, yeah, you can feel it.
Yeah, so on the inside of the
thigh. Must be a pretty big artery there, right?
The femoral artery, it's big. And that's really the best place to feel a pulse on a dog. You can also get used to putting your hand on their chest and just feeling the heart there. So it's a good thing to learn how to do that so you can assess whether or not the heart's beating. But we do about 80 to 100 compressions per minute. And that's something that you could do, hopefully, en route somewhere where they can do definitive care.
All pretty important stuff to know, though, especially during when it's hot during the summertime.
Yep, and on the website, I think they're going to have some details about CPR.
We're going to link everything to the website for you. Taken care of. Taken care of. If you guys need any advice or any tips on how to do CPR on your dog or any more experts from the veterinarians with veterinarians, Ocean State Veterinary Specialists, just head over to the website, foxprovidence.com.